This is a 2006 Infiniti Qx56 4-wheel drive, and what we're doing is cutting off the bolts and replacing those because they have frozen onto the bottom piece of this air shock, and so the top one came loose pretty easily, but the bottom one is completely frozen, so we had to literally cut it off. We had to cut that little ear off too to get to the bolt. Got to buy new bolts, and you got to buy new shocks, air shocks. And another thing you got to think about is you got to remove that little air tube piece. Also, it makes it a lot easier to grind it if you take off the caliper, which is just 2 bolts, and the rotor. It's a little bit easier to get to. So as you can see, my dad's grinding it here, and also using a hammer and kind of like a chisel, really a crowbar, to pry it off. Then it eventually just pops right off, and but you have to buy new bolts for sure.
We may need to get the grinder. Now, will the grinder wheel fit on the other one, son?
No.
We got to do this one both ways?
Yeah. Alright, got the caliper off, the top bolt off, the rotor off. Trying to get to that bolt.
I need a big crowbar or something. Probably harder as everything.
It's just hung on by that one side.
Yep.
Put it underneath of it.
I tried that.
Like you have it. As you can see here, we've completely removed the air shock. View of the bottom, where you can see that the ear has been cut back, so you can install your new nut and bolt. Here's what the old air shock looks like, and that's where you can see that it's just completely frozen, so you had to cut through it. Here are the remnants of those frozen lower bolt. Pretty common. Also, this is the grinder we used, or really the cutter.
This is the new one.
And here is the new
bolts.
air shock.
Armada,
new bolt and new nut as well. My brother's tying it down.
When you cut it,
and
it's gonna
this is
this is the top bolt.
close up. That's the top bolt. On it. And this is the lower bolt with nut. It comes with, I'll have to put the link to the website down below in description. But really, that's all there is to it. Here's some images of that after it's been cut on.